Hey guys, what I'm going to be doing today is teaching you how to use ChatGPT to teach you how to use ChatGPT in your real estate business. Now, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be talking with ChatGPT to help me to build a prompt that I can use to have ChatGPT build me a video description as well as a title for my podcast episodes on my YouTube channel. Now, what I would recommend is you create a project and then create chats under that project so you can keep reusing these because it is going to store that data. So what I would do is, well, I'll show you how to do it there, but let me get into that for you guys now so that way you have a clear picture of what you need to do and the different steps. So what you would be doing is under ChatGPT, you see they have the sidebar here. So you're going to go to new project, and then under new project, you're going to create a project. So you can see my brand, YouTube descriptions, podcast, YouTube title. So you can create different types of projects there. Now, what we're going to do in order to create the actual prompt that we're going to use, we're going to go to new chat, and then we're going to go to the voice mode. Now, why we're going to do that is because we're going to have open conversation with ChatGPT. When the conversation is done, it's going to list everything in writing, and then you can take that and then use that to build your prompt. So I'm going to get started on that now. Hi, ChatGPT.
Hey, Michael, it's great to hear from you. How's everything going on your end?
Everything is going good. I actually need your help. I need you to help me to create prompts that I can use within ChatGPT.
Absolutely. I'd be happy to help you come up with some prompts. Are you looking for prompts for real estate specifically, or do you have other topics in mind as well? Let me know what you're aiming for, and we can tailor them to fit your needs.
Well, it does fit in with my real estate business. However, it's not going to be specific to real estate. What I need you to do is create a prompt for me where it's going to be breaking down the transcript of my podcast video and creating a dynamic description from that.
Got it. So a prompt like this could work well for that purpose. Take the transcript of my podcast episode and create a dynamic, engaging description that highlights the main topics and key takeaways. Make sure the description is optimized for SEO and encourages listeners to tune in. You can tweak it as needed, but that should give you a solid starting point.
That is definitely a very solid starting point. I would like to add a little bit more information. So my name is Michael Reardon. I'll spell it for you. It's Michael. Last name is Reardon, Riordan. I am the host of the podcast. The name of my podcast is The Off Market Mindset.
Perfect, Michael. I've got that noted down for you. So if you want to include your name and the podcast title in the description, you could also add something like, make sure to mention that the podcast is hosted by Michael Reardon and that the show is called Off Market Mindset. Highlight Michael's expertise in real estate investing and what listeners can gain from tuning in. This way you have a personalized and informative prompt.
That sounds great. And then what I would also like is for you to recognize the guest on the podcast, and with his introduction in the transcript, summarize the introduction about my guest, so that way you can add that into the description as well.
Absolutely. That's a great addition. So we can refine the prompt to something like, take the transcript of my off-market mindset podcast episode hosted by Michael Reardon and create a dynamic, engaging description. Include a summary of the guest's introduction, highlighting their background and expertise, and ensure the description is SEO friendly and encourages listeners to tune in. That way you're covering all the key points.
That sounds great. And then what I would also like to add to that is in the description, obviously I want you to be detailed and dynamic and everything that I've already said. I would like it to summarize what the audience will be able to learn or what they should expect from watching that episode.
Absolutely. So let's bring it all together. The refined prompt could be, take the transcript of my off-market mindset podcast episode hosted by Michael Reardon and create a dynamic and engaging description. Include a summary of the guests in production, highlighting their background and expertise. Also summarize what the audience will learn and what they can expect from the episode. Ensure the description is SEO friendly and encourages listeners to tune in. That should give you a comprehensive and detailed description every time.
Perfect. That sounds amazing. And can you also add into the prompt for it to create a title that follows the same type of direction, focusing on SEO as well as the subject of the video?
Absolutely. Let's add that in as well. The final prompt could be, take the transcript of my off-market mindset podcast episode hosted by Michael Reardon and create a dynamic, engaging description. Include a summary of the guest's introduction, highlighting their background and expertise, and summarize what the audience will learn and what they can expect from the episode. Additionally, craft an SEO-friendly title that reflects the subject of the episode and entices listeners to tune in. This way you'll have a complete package for your podcast episodes.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I think that should be all.
You're very welcome. I'm glad we could put that together. If you ever need more prompts or any other assistance, just let me know. I'm always here to help.
Okay, nice. And one last thing before I go here, I would like to ask for your advice. Do you think that there's anything missing from that prompt that should be added that would bring more value?
I think the prompt is pretty comprehensive, but one extra touch could be to specify the tone or style of the description and title. For example, if you want it to be particularly motivational or friendly or professional, adding that detail can help shape the final result even more. But overall, I think you've covered all the essential elements.
Perfect. So what I would say is, based on your advice, if you can make it sound more laid back, kind of like Pace Morby or Jerry Norton, as well as on the professional side, a good mixture of that would sound good.
Audit. We can definitely incorporate that vibe. So the final version of the prompt could be, take the transcript of my off-market mindset podcast episode hosted by Michael Reardon and create a dynamic, engaging description with a laid-back yet professional tone, similar to the style of Pace Morby or Jerry Norton. Include a summary of the guest's introduction, highlighting their background and expertise, and outline what the audience will learn and what they can expect from the episode. Additionally, craft an SEO-friendly title that reflects the episode's subject and entices listeners to tune in. I think that captures everything perfectly.
Perfect. Okay. And if you can just analyze all your data on any talking points that you've had with other people looking for the same information and the same advice, and if you can put it up against my prompt just to see if there's anything else that you might be missing, that we can improve the prompt before we end this call.
That sounds good. From what I've seen, your prompt is already really well-rounded. One thing some people also like to include is a call to action in the description, like encouraging listeners to subscribe or visit a website for more resources. Other than that, I think you've got everything covered, so you should be all set.
Perfect. Can you actually add into the prompt at the end of this description? Can you do a call to action for me asking people to subscribe to my social media channels and include all the social media channels that I have in my branding template? Also, if you can ask them if they are a real estate investor and would like to be on the podcast, go to peerlesspropertysolutions.com/podcast.
Absolutely. So the final prompt could look like this. Take the transcript of my Off Market Mindset podcast episode hosted by Michael Reardon and create a dynamic, engaging description with a laid back yet professional tone, similar to the style of Pace Morby or Jerry Norton. Include a summary of the guest's introduction, highlight their background and expertise, and outline what the audience will learn and what they can expect from the episode. Additionally, craft an SEO-friendly title that reflects the episode's subject and entices listeners to tune in. At the end of the description, include a call to action inviting listeners to subscribe to all my social media channels and encourage real estate investors interested in being on the podcast to visit peerlesspropertysolutions.com/podcast. That should cover everything you need.
All right. Thank you so much.
You're very welcome. If you need anything else in the future, just let me know. Have a great one and good luck with your podcast.
Thank you. Bye. All right, guys. So as you can see, that was my conversation with ChatGPT. Now I have a really dynamic prompt that I can put into another chat. So I'm going to show you guys everything as far as like what to do, just in case you've never used ChatGPT before. So number one, I'm going to also provide this chat in a Word document format for you guys to download. So that way you have an idea of like the questions that I asked and stuff like that. You can even take that chat and put it in your own ChatGPT and give it the information that you want it to use based on you. So that way it can just take the exact chat that I gave and then just tailor it to your specific business and information. Now, the good thing too is you don't have to use this just for real estate investing. This could be for anything, right? So the same process that I just did, you could use that for selling cats or selling car washes or whatever it is that you want to do. You can use that same exact process. And if you notice what I did, I gave it information in small chunks. And the reason I did that is if you give it too much information at once, you don't want to confuse ChatGPT. You want it to be able to give you clear, concise information on one thing at a time. Now, with this chat, as you can see, this is our whole conversation. At the very end, it's got that last prompt. So I'm going to take that and I'm going to create a new chat and I'm going to put it into my project and I'm going to show you how to do that. So number one thing that I'm going to do is I'm actually just going to do, I'm going to pull up a podcast transcript. If you do a lot of Zooms and stuff like that, one great one that I would recommend is I have it's like a assistant AI for Zoom or any online meetings like Google Meetings. I guess that's the one. I don't use it very often, but Google Meet. You've also got like I think Apple has its own meetings program and stuff like that. So, but yeah, I'm gonna take the chat here and let me just see which one of these was. I think it was this one. Just for example's sake, let me just pull this one up here. and it actually ended up being the right one I wanted. So no matter how you get your transcript, the cool thing is in read.ai, it gives you notes, it gives you summaries on everything, you've got timestamps, but the one I'm going to go to is transcript. Now at the very top here, it says copy transcript. So I'm going to copy that transcript and then I'm going to bring it over into ChatGPT. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to create a new chat. Actually, I forgot to. Okay. So first I'm going to copy the prompt. And then I'm going to create a new chat and I'm going to give it this prompt. And then while that's thinking, I'm going to come back here and copy the transcript. So what it's doing, if you saw while it was thinking, it was also looking at my previous conversations and prompts. So what I'm also going to be adding to this is I want you to ignore all previous conversations and prompts and treat this like a fresh conversation with no previous data influencing the results. So I want you to ignore all previous conversation and prompts and treat this like a fresh conversation with no previous data influencing the result of this chat. So what I don't want it to do is pull any of the information previous. So what I'm going to do is in the future, I'm actually going to take this and add that into the main prompt. So now it says, understood, let's start with a clean slate. How can I help you today? So as a matter of fact, and I'm not editing this, I want you guys to see my thought process so that way you can also take this with value, because these are things that are going to come up for you guys as well. As you do this, you're going to notice where maybe there was something that could be improved, where you can fix a mistake, things like that. So all right, so now it's asking me for the transcript. So as you can see, by me adding that last part of the prompt in there, it's going to ask me for that transcript. And I'm going to go back, copy the transcript, put it into ChatGPT. At this point, it's just going to be thinking. So now it's taking that transcript and it's breaking it down based on how I gave it that prompt. So here's the cool thing as we review this here. It's giving a brief summary. So step inside this week of off-market mindset as host Michael Reardon chops it up with Jose Cortez, Air Force vet turned investor, transactional lender, DSCR broker, with a bullpen of 22 lending partners at his fingertips. Jose brought flipped and held property in multiple states, currently juggling deals varied as 33-room Mountain Lodge in Colorado, 16-unit multifamily. So basically, this summarizes who Jose is and exactly what it is that he does. So then it breaks down the different categories of that as well. It goes over his origin story, how he does transactional funding and gap monies, DSCR loans, creative finance, VA entitlements, and seller carryback. So everything that we've covered in the different subjects is going to be listed here. Very easy for people to read, right? Now, it also goes over some key points. So why hit play? Pick up creative deal structures, learn how to raise or place capital, unfiltered war stories, late rents, eviction headaches, and blah, blah. So basically, it's just giving people the subjects, the exciting key points of it, and then it's going over your last end call to action. So enjoying the show, smash the button on YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn, Threads, Blue Sky. Never miss an episode of Off Market Mindset. And then, are you a real estate investor with a story to share? Apply to be a guest at, and then it goes over my website with the podcast. So I know you probably would be like, well, I didn't need you to read all that, right? But just breaking everything down step by step, if you notice, everything in this description is exactly what we asked ChatGPT to do for us, right? And not only that, but if you notice here, it's also got high performing keywords. So creative financing, transactional lending, DSCR, co-living, so it's got everything that you could think of. Transactional funding, gap money, DSCR loans, creative finance. So all of these are keywords. So not only is this creating a description for people to know what it's about, it's making it exciting and enticing. Because if you're reading this, you're going to be like, that sounds interesting. I want to know more about that, right? And then on top of that, it's adding SEO. So people that are searching for those types of things, it's going to be connecting you with the correct audience, which is so, so important when it comes to getting exposure to your channel. One thing that I did notice here that can be added is tags. So being able to add tags for YouTube is important as well. And maybe even some hashtags and stuff like that in there. But I mean, aside from that, this is pretty much how you would use ChatGPT to help you with building your prompts and teaching you how to ask it questions. And then as you notice things based on your own experience, like me, I do have experience with this. I noticed it didn't add the tags, right? So then now I can go back and have it ask, I can ask it, can you also include tags for the video, right? So I'm not going to do that here because, I mean, at the end of the day, I've pretty much covered the point of the video, right? So if you guys like the video and you got value out of it, please like, comment, subscribe, share, do everything that you do with social media. Also leave some comments below. Let me know how could I've improved this for you guys, or let me know other subjects and topics that you want me to talk about. But other than that, I hope that this provides you guys value, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.